I feel bad for Pete having to work so hard on the street, but this was obviously not one of his more grueling assignments. Lovely young lady, Miss Taunton. He didn't tell the rest of us about that assignment, notice. But if you want to support Miss Taunton, and that her name is Ashley Shavs, okay, lovely young lady. She will be representing Taunton at the Miss Massachusetts pageant at the beautifully restored Hanover Theater in Worcester on June 28th and 29th. Maybe we can put something on our website, the TRCC, okay, and that will help people link over and figure out when and where. And that brings us to your website, Mr. Proulx. You started to mention it just before we cut away. Could you do that again? And
it's Taunton Area Vietnam Vets.com.
Excellent. And now, could you tell us a little bit about how to join the association, who could join, and some of the things going on?
Okay. We have 3 types of membership for the Taunton Area Vietnam Vets. Regular membership, who just Vietnam vets. Associate membership, which you can be a veteran, but not a Vietnam veteran. And auxiliary, you're not in the service at all. And our dues are $10 a year. You know, that's not much. What you get is our newsletter and come to our events, and if you want to help us out, that's great. We welcome anybody to join us. And I do want to mention Vietnam vets. A lot of guys haven't joined the group because they say, oh, they're probably sitting there at meetings talking about war stories and this and that, and that's not the truth. We don't talk about Vietnam or anything. We talk about what we can do for the public. We talk about the POWMIA issue. We talk about our programs, our scholarship program, our events that are coming up. And basically our meetings last 45 minutes. We get our business done in an orderly fashion, and that's it. We meet once a month. The only month we don't meet is in July.
Let me see. We pull this up, and this I believe is off your website, Mr. Proulx, some of the different objectives of this group, and it is to improve the conditions for Vietnam veterans, to promote positive education for all on Vietnam and its veterans, to assist the needs of our members and their families whenever possible, to provide Vietnam veterans representation at area meetings and ceremonies when required or requested, and to ensure the continuing remembrance of our fallen brothers and sisters and those still listed as MIAs. POW-MIAs?
We still listed as POW-MIAs, and that's a big issue for us because even though there's still a POW-MIA from Afghanistan, he was captured in 2009, and we still want to talk about him at our ceremonies and everything because we don't want this country to forget any POW-MIA in any war. So as for Vietnam, we're not sure if there's any still alive over in Vietnam, you know.
POWs.
POWs, right. So, you know, we can't always give up hope. What we do at our ceremonies is we never play taps at our ceremonies because that is admitting they're all gone. But, you know, we always hope there are some alive. But the main objective is to get those that have gone to get their remains back home to their families.
There are still people doing that to this day in Vietnam, correct?
Yes, it's called JPAC.
Okay.
Joint Prisoner of War Accounting Agenda or Agency or whatever. I keep on forgetting how the exact words, but it's called if you put in on the internet JPAC, it'll come right up, and it's an amazing organization.
Are they a multinational organization?
No, in the United States. It's funded by the government, and this is why we do our thing, because like anything else, if the squeaky wheel isn't oiled,
right?
We want that program funded all the time. There's roughly 1,000 people that work in that program, and they're based out of Hawaii. And they go all over the world for missing in action, looking for remains. And since we started our organization, I think there was 2,460 POW-MIAs from the United States and Vietnam.
How many total, sir?
2,460
okay.
From Vietnam. And right now there's a little over 1,600. So roughly
1,600 remaining.
Remaining. So roughly 900 have come back, remains have come back to their families. For all wars, I don't have the exact numbers, but it's somewhere under 90,000 for all wars, World War I, all the way to the present.
And you know, just to clarify for people who may not have had a family member that they lost in a war unaccounted for, we talked about close to 60,000 people that had died or have died subsequently to the war from war-related injuries.
In Vietnam.
But the number of family members, it just goes on and on. It exceeds
yeah.
far more than the 60,000 we think of, because they may be sitting at home thinking that their loved one has not been recovered. Are they
Right.
still alive?
Right. I tell people, in fact, our POWMIA Day this year is the last Sunday in March. It happened to land on Easter Sunday.
Yes, sir.
So I told people, I says, you know, everybody goes home and have a big Easter dinner. You know, and each year you lose people, you know, the grandfather, the grandmothers, they pass away, and then you have a new batch of people and everything. You know, these people that have passed away, they go to the cemetery and they can visit them anytime they want. You know, they can put flowers and everything. Now you have a missing in action. You can go to the cemetery, there could be a stone there with the name, but that person isn't there. Where is that person?
Right.
It's got to be tough for these families. And our biggest fight with this issue is apathy, out of sight, out of mind. If you don't know anybody that knows anybody that has somebody missing, or you don't even think about it, you know.
Your
So it's our
association-
job to promote it.
Keep promoting it. Your association would help people who are questioning this, would like to help out if they could. You would definitely help put them in touch with the right associations, right organizations.
And the biggest thing to promote all this is, you know, we have POWMIA stickers, there's POWMIA flags.
I think you were gracious enough to give me one.
Yeah, you can put that on
I
your
appreciate
car.
that. I will, absolutely.
Yeah, in fact, we gave the city of Taunton enough for all their vehicles, to put on their vehicles. And the mayor has passed them out to all the departments. And myself and a lot of other people in the group, and we have our own POWMIA flags. We hang them just below our United States flag. And people go by that and see that, and they'll start, if they don't know anything about it, they'll start asking questions about it.
I thought about it this morning because I found out not long ago, a young man that I knew as a kid, just talking about the lingering effects of this war. He was a basketball star from my hometown. As a matter of fact, he used to play basketball in my backyard. And I'd be a little kid watching him. The babysitter used to watch me inside. She wouldn't let me go out and play with the other guys because I was too young. But he was tall enough, he could reach up to that first floor window, pull me out, let me sit there and watch those guys play basketball, and then put me back in before the babysitter finished her soap opera. I just found out recently that he passed away, sadly enough, of conditions they believe definitely were associated with the war. A young man. I don't think he reached 60. And it's all around us.
Yep.
And I think it's terribly important that people pay attention. I would like to encourage as many of our viewers as possible to get in touch with the organization. Again, it is the
Taunton Area Vietnam Vets Association.
with the website, I mean.
Oh,
I apologize.
TauntonAreaVietnamVets.com.
All right. And we will put up a link on our website, which is www.tauntonrcc.com. So hopefully we'll get people over there to link up and join in. Now, do you have any fun events coming up? 4th of July, any type of...
Well, actually, we've got an event coming up Saturday.
Okay.
We have cruise nights three times a year. The fourth Saturday in June, July, and August. And what it is old cars will show up. We stage at the Taunton Town Hall on
Yes,
Route
sir.
138. And we've been doing it maybe 4 years now. And last year we've had like 70 cars.
Really?
Old cars, they come out. And what we do is we sell hamburgers and hot dogs and chips and soda and water. And that's how we raise money for our scholarship program.
And your scholarship program is aimed to help children of Vietnam veterans, or?
Originally, it was for children of Vietnam veterans, and then most of the Vietnam veterans' children are grown up,
Have their own children.
have
sure.
their own children. So it could be a grandchild, and it doesn't have to be a member of the Taunton Area Vietnam Vets to put in for a scholarship.
Would they have to have been a relative of a Vietnam vet?
As long as they are sponsored by a Vietnam veteran.
Oh, that's a great piece of news, because there are kids graduating high school all the time that could stand a little extra help. So they would get in touch with you,
Yeah.
your organization, and
Yeah.
maybe apply for that scholarship?
Yeah, we send applications out to all the area schools.
Okay,
And we have two $500 scholarships.
wow, that's
And this
excellent.
year, two, a young man and a young lady from Taunton High School received scholarships. I think it was at last month's meeting that they received it. And, it helps. It doesn't pay for everything, but it's a little help.
I could have used that when I was in dental school. That would have paid for a few books.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then, we're not doing anything for the 4th of July, but I want to mention that DAV, the Disabled American Vets, they have Let Freedom Ring.
Yes, sir.
They ring a bell on Taunton Green at 1 o'clock on July 4th. It's a little ceremony. It's probably been going on maybe 3 years now. And it's very, very, very nice and rewarding, and I invite anybody to go down there.
4th of July at what time again, sir?
1 o'clock.
Excellent.
1
We'll do our
o'clock.
best to get down there. These guys will keep me mindful of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
We're getting the signal that we're going to be wrapping up very shortly. We've got less than a minute. 30 seconds to wrap. Well, I'm just going to mention once again our website, www.tauntonrcc.com. Brian, who's our next guest?
Who is our next?
We're working on that right now. I know Tom's got it, so I'll leave that till our next segment. We'll let everybody know. It'll be a surprise. But I want to thank Mr. Proulx for coming down and shedding a little light on the TAVVA for us, telling us about your association. Excellent association, and I am going to become a member tonight.
Great.
Okay, I thank you very much for spending time with us.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we'll see you again. We'll thank Pete again for his hard work on the street. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Thank you for tuning in to The Right Side. The Right Side is produced, directed, and written by the Taunton Republican City Committee. The opinions and views expressed are solely ours. They do not reflect the views and opinions of Taunton Cable Media Access. Now, if you wish to contact us with your reactions, thoughts, or ideas, go to the Taunton Republican Committee website. Click on The Right Side and fill out the comment form at the bottom of the page. That's all there is to it. And once again, thanks for tuning in to The Right Side.